Good morning, everyone, to assembled family, friends, and community. My name is Casey Carl. I have the privilege of serving as clerk of the City of Minneapolis. In accordance with the relevant provisions of the Minneapolis City Charter and laws of the state of Minnesota, this is the day fixed for the assembling of the newly installed City Council following the 2023 general municipal election, as certified by the Municipal Canvassing Board at its meeting on November 13, 2023. Newly elected and re-elected members of the council were sworn in as required by the city charter on Monday, January 1, 2024. Today's organizational meeting marks the commencement of the council's 2024-2025 term. With that, the Minneapolis Council will be in order. The clerk will call the roll of members in numerical order by wards.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Wansley.
Present.
Rainville.
Present.
Vita.
Present.
Ellison.
Here.
Osman. Osman. Cashman. Jenkins. Chavez. Chuktai. Koski.
Present.
Chowdhury. Palmisano. There are 13 members present.
The record will reflect that a quorum is present for the meeting. Council members, the purpose of this first meeting is to organize the council for the conduct of city business. This organizational meeting is convened pursuant to notice as required by law, which was included in the transition calendar adopted October 5, published October 13, 2023. Matters to be transacted as part of this organizational meeting are listed on the agenda, which was first posted and made available to the public on Tuesday, January 2, 2024. Printed copies of the agenda have been distributed to all members, and copies are also available for the public, including via the city's legislative information management system, accessible from the city's website. Council members, before we proceed to business, it's my honor to invite the mayor to address the council. This year, due to the law that affects the election of council members following a federal census and redistricting, the council is organizing for a new 2-year term while the mayor is midway through a 4-year term. This is a pattern that repeats every 20 years, and this past year's election was the first instance of this pattern. It is more common following an election for the mayor to offer an inaugural address at the commencement of a new term. Therefore, I'd like to recognize the mayor for an address to the City Council. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk, City Carl. I appreciate the introduction, and to members of the City Council, both returning as well as new, we cannot wait to get to work with you. So good morning to Council members Elliot Payne, to Council member Robin Wansley, Council member Michael Rainville, Council member Latricia Vita, Council member Jeremiah Ellison, Council member Jamal Osman, Council member Andrea Jenkins, Council member Jason Chavez, Council member Aisha Chugtai, Council member Emily Koski, Council member Lene Palmisano, and a big welcome as well to our new council members, Cashman and Chowdhury. This day, as I mentioned, will change your lives forever. You all have been imparted a whole lot of trust from our shared communities, and I have no doubt that you're going to enter these doors in City Hall and at this building with an intention to work in good faith and to serve our communities. And we've had no shortage of moments over these last several years, and today I'm so glad to come together with all of you to mark another very important day in our city's history. You have foundational work to do at today's meeting. That's not lost on me, and I'm keenly aware of how unusual today is. After all, this is the first time I can recall a mayor delivering an inaugural remark without actually being inaugurated. So this will be brief, maybe a bit untraditional, just like this moment. Short on policy successes from the past year, trust me, I will tout those unapologetically during the State of the City and the budget address, but a little longer on reflection about where we have been and most importantly, where we can go together as a body. We are in a pivotal time of renewal right now, and that's true of every new year. You start a new year out fresh with an intention to serve and collaborate. And yes, you start a new year out with commitments to the people of the city that we're charged with serving. And at the start of that new year, slates in a way are not wiped clean. We all certainly carry our histories, but we can start fresh. So let's start afresh. assuming good intentions in one another. Let's start afresh assuming that each of us walk through those doors at City Hall with the intention to serve our diverse communities. Not just the building that we're in now, but we're trying to figure out how we can work together on some of our shared priorities. And in this new year, that's my commitment to you, that I will believe that you all have the best of intentions to work on behalf of our city. I will believe that you care deeply about our constituents, just as I do, and that we will work together to achieve the top-level service that they deserve. And there's going to be plenty of time for argument about the best strategies and the best of policies. But having best intentions is somewhere where we can all align right now and from the get-go. And as I've reflected on what I've heard across Minneapolis throughout the last year, I decided to take that to heart today and talk about this renewed commitment that we have both to one another and to our constituents. A renewed commitment to having the best of intentions, to seeing our common humanity, and finally to our common cause, which is quite simply making Minneapolis the best city where all of our peoples are proud to call home. What will that demand of us in this term? A recognition that we are all here to help people and make our city a better place. That signing up to serve is to say yes. Yes to being an instrument for positive change. We are all here to build a great city. We're all here to make sure that we outlast the borrowed time during which we will occupy these seats. So let's govern with integrity. Let's debate with honesty and relentlessly pursue what is just, inclusive, and equitable in our policymaking. If that hits you as a bit simplistic or a bit unbridled in the optimism, it's fair. So let's touch on where we may stumble, because we all know that we will at times. I agree with every single one of you on conservatively 95% of the policy items that we will work on. But while that 5% of daylight that we find, that certainly shines a bright light someday, can't it? Why? Well, tension sells. Whether it's in the papers or on social media, people like to highlight that tension. And that tension is at times important. But let's also focus on that 95% where we can unite, where we can get tremendous work done on behalf of our city. And I'll throw you out just a couple of those points here to start with. Who here believes that climate change poses an existential threat to our species and that local governments, and particularly here in Minneapolis, we have a role to play in combating it? I imagine that's basically everybody. Even if you didn't raise your hand, I'm assuming you're with me here. And that's great, because our administration and this city council believes firmly that that is one of the most important things that we can collectively be doing as a city. Who here thinks that Minneapolis has a role to play and perhaps lead the state in effectively and equitably regulating the new cannabis industry? Well, terrific. We see this year's inaugural cannabis conference this year as a prime opportunity to start to chart a path through which we can do that here in Minneapolis. And finally, I doubt that anyone disagrees that we should continue funding affordable housing at record-setting pace, and we need to be doing even more to make sure that everyone has the dignity of a home. That's where we're at as a city. Those are values that none of us are going to back down on. And so again, back to what this new year can bring. New commitments, new opportunities, and our common intentions. The sum of our efforts can, in this case, be greater than our individual contributions. We've heard from judges, we've heard from our constituents. The value of working together, the value of collaboration can actually bring a scenario that far surpasses what any of us could do on an individual basis. Working together does produce positive change. So let's govern with purpose, let's govern with deep integrity, and let's guard against the practical becoming personal. And let us never forget that we're here to build a brighter future for the people who call this great city home. The only people standing in the way that are standing here, the only people that are potentially standing in the way is ourselves. And so let's do it right. And with that, we're going to announce a very new person that is connected to our city for the very first time ever. We're going to have an inaugural Minneapolis Poet Laureate in Heidi E. Erdrich. And so I'll kindly ask Heidi E. Erdrich to come up with me. As part of our breakfast before this meeting, we all had an opportunity to hear briefly from Heidi and her incredible contributions a bit already. But this particular poem, this particular time marks an occasion, I believe, that is different than ever before. Using poetry and words, Miss Erdrich represents how language and story can be the symbol of all that is true and all that is powerful about our city and its people, about our beautifully diverse neighborhoods, our shared histories, and our shared ambitions, and also our collective well-being, where we hope to go, both past and future. And so we honor Miss Erdrich and her whole family, the Ojibwe Nation, the Turtle Mountain Clan, and all of those that informed and inspired her to achieve this recognition upon this momentous occasion, the city's first ever Poet Laureate. We're really grateful as well to council members that were involved in envisioning this award, this honor, and want to give a huge thank you as well to the Loft Literary Center for administering the selection process. And finally, a big thank you to Director Ben Johnson and the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department for championing this new initiative. It's one that's long overdue and very worthwhile. And over the next year, we will be witness to Miss Erdrich's work of bringing the power of words and the power of poetry to our diverse communities. And now, I have the honor of bringing up Council Member Andrea Jenkins, who, where is she? Oh, there she is, who is a extraordinary poet herself. And was a huge help in this selection process of Miss Erdrich to offer a brief poem. Councilmember Andrea Jenkins.
Thank you so much, Mayor Fry, and good morning, Hyde. How are you? Congratulations on being Minneapolis's first Poet Laureate, an idea which has been a long time in the making. Many community members have advocated strongly for this, and I am proud to be able to bring it forward. And so I just want to share a little bit of one of your original poems that I think speaks to this moment. If I heard the words you once used in our wild place rough with scrub roses and sand, if your words came back gray and kind as mild winter, believe me, I'd still understand. Offer my own red language, my tongue to your tongue, so we recall that we once said that made us live, made us choose to live. Hyde Erdrich. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. And now to close, and before I turn things over to our very first poet laureate ever, we've got a proclamation in honor of this great occasion. You're going to be honored on a regular basis here, so I can tell you're certainly comfortable in poetry, but maybe not as comfortable getting a whole lot of thanks and being honored. But let me tell you, you deserve it. You're emblematic of where we want to go as a city and who we are as a people and who we can be. And so thank you. And so, whereas the literary arts encompass the core of our community's identity and vitality and express the soul of our people, making it an essential component in celebrating our city's culture. And whereas poetic expression is an honored literary tradition that engages the community with feelings, thoughts, and perspectives through artistic narratives, embracing our joys, celebrations, our pains, fears, and hopes. And whereas a poet laureate is the symbol of how artistic and literary expression are at the heart of our community and shared experiences, and represents the collective voices of our writers, poets, and a greater citizenry. And whereas a robust literary community remains vital to understanding the stories of our past and present with visions for our future. And whereas capturing our stories, our expressions, and our identities through poetry enables us to document our community's history. And whereas a literary city empowers all its citizens to embrace poetic expression in how we connect with one another, and by doing so fostering a dynamic, thriving city that is by, about, and for the people. And whereas the inaugural Poet Laureate for the City of Minneapolis was selected through a partnership between the Loft Literary Center, Minneapolis Arts Commission, and the Arts and Cultural Affairs Department. And whereas on December 19, the City of Minneapolis announced the appointment of Hyde E. Erdrich as the first ever Poet Laureate in recognition of her immense and influential contributions to the community through her work and life expectations. And whereas Hyde E. Erdrich brings forth a unique and noteworthy background as a poet and individual, having authored numerous collections, including Little Big Bully, curator of ephemera and at the new Museum for Archaic Media, and the forthcoming Verb Animate, shared her expertise in a multitude of educational settings and led efforts in Native arts advocacy, collaboration, and curation. And whereas the City of Minneapolis congratulates Hyde E. Erdrich on her appointment to this historic new role and is honored to have her presence and perspective in efforts to further advance the art and cultural footprint of our community. Now, therefore, I, Jacob Fry, Mayor of the City of Minneapolis, do hereby proclaim January 8th as Hyde E. Erdrich Day in the City of Minneapolis. Congratulations. And so now, again, if you could give a huge round of applause as I turn it over to our first Poet Laureate, Hyde E. Erdrich.
Before I accept this considerable honor, I want to speak from the heart as I was taught as an Anishinaabe Kwe, as an Ojibwe woman, and say that as a survivor of genocide and as a lover of Palestinian poetry, I greet you all today. And now, thank you for the honor. I accept it with all my heart. I'll work hard for you this year to find a role for poetry in our city and for those who are responsible for the governance of our city, which is a task that is incredibly difficult, but one that I have a lot of hope for. And thank you all who've made it possible for me to be here today. The poem I'm about to read is a poem that has just started for me. It's not been a month really since I understood what I was going to do in this role. And I would like to tell you that it's going to be in 4 more parts. It's a poem for the seasons in Minneapolis. And this first part, I was thinking about what is going on in our city in terms of place, the actual place we live. Part 1, winter. This is the city dreaming in its original language, Dakota home, mapped on astronomical planes, so streets still chart the stars, tell us where to be in each season, river at spring equinox, sunup, lake at fall equinox, sundown. This is the city dreaming in winter, into the silence of frozen spaces in this bare year, the quiet broken by wishes, the quiet broken by calling down the snow, calling for home. The city makes its own way home, makes its many ways home. This is the city dreaming under cold and deep skies, on icy streets moving with care. Winter swallows background noise, makes the perfect place to listen, to hear one another. Snow, just another sign for home. We can laugh at it together, whether we park on one side or the other, to find our street or find it restricted. We plow on through. We are in it together. When the city dreams in winter, what does it learn? Listen to the city dreaming, calling us home, calling for a home in many languages. Listen to the city dreaming, moving toward a chorus, learning its multiple and singular voice. Thank you, Miigwech.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to our poet laureate for those words. Without objection, I'll direct the clerk to receive and file the mayor's address and to spread that message upon the council's journal. Council members, it's now in order for a motion to adopt the agenda as printed and distributed. May I have such a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Is there an amendment to the agenda? Councilmember Shugtai.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I want to move to amend the agenda to include under the order of new business a resolution supporting a ceasefire and the prevention of further loss of life in the Middle East, which is included in the packets that are before you today.
There's a motion to amend the agenda. Is there a second? I have a second. We'll first vote on the amendment to the agenda. All those in favor of adding the amendment calling for a ceasefire as a new order of business, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
In my opinion, the ayes have it, and so the amendment is adopted. With that amendment added to the agenda, I'll ask for, I have a motion from Councilmember Payne and a second from Councilmember Osmond to approve that agenda as amended. Those in favor of the motion to adopt the agenda as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the agenda is adopted as amended. Members, the first item of business is the election of officers of this body. In terms of procedure, I intend to administer the election for both officers, that is, for president and then vice president. We will conduct the election in order as shown on the agenda, first with president and then with vice president. For each election, we will begin by opening the floor to nominations. After all nominations have been made, we will proceed to take the vote by roll call. We will vote on nominations in the order they are made and accepted. The clerk will call the roll in numerical order by wards. Once the election of officers has been completed, we will briefly pause these proceedings to seat the new officers before taking up the remainder of the agenda. Are there any questions about the procedures I have outlined for the election of officers? Seeing no questions, I will proceed to the election for the office of president. That's the first office to be elected today. Without objection, I will open the floor to nominations. Are there any nominations to the office of president? Councilmember Cashman.
I nominate Councilmember Payne for president.
Councilmember Cashman has nominated Councilmember Payne, representing Ward 1, to the office of president. Are there other nominations for the office of president? Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Seeing none, the period for nominations is now closed, and we will proceed to a vote on the motion to elect Councilmember Payne to the office of council president. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Payne.
Aye.
Wansley. Rainville. Vita. Ellison. Osman.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Nay.
Chavez.
Aye.
Chuktai.
Aye.
Koski.
Aye.
Chowdhury.
Aye.
Palmisano.
No.
There are 10 ayes and 3 nays.
That motion carries. Councilmember Payne has been elected president of the city council. Council members, I'll open the floor now to nominations for the office of vice president. Are there any nominations for the office of vice president? I see Councilmember Palmisano.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I'd like to nominate Councilmember Vita for the role of Vice President of the City Council this term. I feel strongly we need a balanced council and we need Councilmember Vita's voice in leadership conversations. Councilmember Vita has 6 years of elected office under her belt. She has experience and has demonstrated her ability to focus on and address our city's most pressing needs. We all know that Councilmember Vita has a personality that cuts through the fog in this fishbowl of policymaking. And Councilmember Vita is direct and she leads with her heart. I think she would be a great leader in this moment. Thank you.
Are there further nominations for the office of vice president? Councilmember Chowdhury.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Councilmember Aisha Chugtai to be our next council vice president. I have known Councilmember Chugtai for a long time. I have known her as an organizer, dedicated community leader, and hardworking council member to both the constituents she represents and the colleagues and staff that she works with. She's a dedicated servant leader. She is someone you can call on for help, and no matter what side of the issue you stand on, or who you are, or what part of the city you're from, she will do her best to support you. She has demonstrated over the last 2 years that she is a council member who will put the needs of the city, and oftentimes the needs of this body, over her own. She has done work without compromising her values, which is the best that we can ask for our leadership. She is an unrelenting voice for working people, Black, Indigenous, people of color, our immigrant communities here in Minneapolis, our unhoused community, and those who are most in need in our city and need our local government to show up for them more than ever right now. I am so excited as one of the many overwhelming majority of women on this council to be supporting a fellow woman of color and a fellow Gen Zer. I feel strongly that that Councilmember Chugtai will be a leader who will work faithfully for all of us, all 13 council members, to achieve an agenda that will deliver for all of our constituencies here in the city of Minneapolis.
Council members, are there any further nominations to the office of vice president? I'll ask once again, just in case I'm missing anyone, are there nominations to the office of vice president? Hearing no further nominations, the period for nominations is closed. As noted, we will proceed to take the vote in the order that nominations were made. The clerk will first call the roll on the nomination of Councilmember Vita, representing the 4th Ward, to the office of vice president.
Councilmember Payne.
Nay.
Wansley. Nay. Rainville.
Aye.
Vita. Ellison. Osman.
Nay.
Cashman.
Nay.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Chavez.
Nay.
Chuktai.
Nay.
Koski. Chowdhury.
Nay.
Palmisano.
Aye.
There are 6 ayes and 7 nays.
That nomination fails. We will proceed to the second nomination, which was the nomination of Councilmember Shugtai, representing the 10th Ward, to the office of Vice President. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Payne.
Aye.
Wansley. Rainville. Vita. Ellison. Osman.
Aye.
Cashman.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Nay.
Chavez.
Aye.
Chuktai. Koski. Chowdhury.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Nay.
There are 8 ayes and 5 nays.
That motion passes. On behalf of the people of the city of Minneapolis, congratulations to Elliot Payne from Ward 1 and to Aisha Shugtai from Ward 10 on their election to these leadership positions. And to family and friends and those in the audience, I will ask council members and our guests for their indulgence for a slight recess as we seat the president and vice president before taking up the remainder of the agenda.
Do you know who's going to be serving?
All right, thanks everyone. We're going to get started. And before we proceed, I just want to express my sincere thanks to my colleagues for your vote of confidence in my leadership. And I recognize this position is one of trust, and that the primary duty is to reflect the consensus of this body as it serves our entire community. I just want to share my sincere thanks to my colleagues. I'm truly humbled by your vote of confidence. And I also want to thank the work of Mr. Carl and your entire team. Nothing works without the clerks. I also want to thank everyone who took time out of their busy day to mark this occasion with us. I'm going to take a moment to give some remarks about this collective decision, but first I want to say that I want to stand in solidarity with the indigenous people of this land and every land. We must go beyond acknowledging that we are in Dakota land. We have to acknowledge that we stole this land through the genocide and displacement of Dakota, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and other indigenous peoples. And we have a duty as stewards of this land to take action to reverse these harms. One direct action we can take this year is the creation of a Ninukasi Healing Center. And I look forward to working with the mayor and my colleagues to further this initiative. I want to say how excited I am to get to work with you all this term. The majority of us here today were elected as new council members in 2021. We all came into office during some of the darkest moments in our city's history. The city had burned after the murder of George Floyd. Our police department was under 2 active investigations by the Minnesota Department of Human Rights and Department of Justice. And we were still under an active health emergency when we were sworn in. In fact, we conducted this very meeting virtually at the beginning of the last term, with COVID hitting peak cases in January of 2022. It also feels like 2 different cities compared to now, 2 different worlds. But since that time, we have begun to imagine a whole new world of possibilities. Through Councilmember Ellison's leadership, we've created and expanded our behavioral crisis response, the beginning of an entirely new model of public safety. Thanks to Councilmember Palmisano, we have implemented a new government structure where we've laid the foundation for expanding this new model in our Office of Community Safety, a place where we can build out a comprehensive and layered approach to public safety through implementation of our Safe and Thriving Communities initiative. Councilmember Rainville's commitment to innovative safety programs has brought us Warehouse District Live, providing free activities and a reduction in crime downtown. Councilmember Koski has recognized the unique needs of survivors of domestic violence, making significant investments in expanding our Domestic Violence Navigator program. Councilmember Osman has been a vocal advocate for strengthening our response to the opioid epidemic, especially in the East African community. He's paved the way for expanding access to culturally appropriate treatment options and outreach to underserved communities. Councilmember Chowdhury hit the ground running when she was sworn in early at the end of the last term. In her short time in office, she's already made a difference in our city by authoring a number of budget amendments that improve community safety, like creating an interim safety center on Lake Street, investing in hate crime prevention and transit safety coordinators. Councilmember Vita has been a steadfast champion for our first responders and has consistently led on retention and recruitment strategies across all areas of public safety. And thanks to Councilmember Jenkins, we have overhauled our civilian oversight in alignment with the recommendations from the Minnesota Department of Human Rights Settlement Agreement. Looking to our future, I'm excited about the Minneapolis Climate Legacy Initiative. Thanks to Vice President Chudkai's leadership on the Clean Energy Partnership, we secured ongoing funding for our climate equity plan, which will help us achieve our ambitious climate goals of becoming carbon neutral by 2050 through direct investment in our green zones. We have also made historical investments in housing through $18 million of commitments to create or preserve 876 units of housing through our Affordable Housing Trust Fund, helping Councilmember Chavez secure $2.5 million for Little Earth housing rehabilitation and preservation. Thanks to Councilmember Wansley, we have improved the living conditions for thousands of residents through capital improvement in our public housing stock and through her advocacy for a public housing levy. And I'm overjoyed by the addition of Councilmember Cashman to City Council. I'm excited to get to work with you on climate action, environmental justice initiatives, and implementing your innovative ideas about revitalizing downtown. Your unending optimism and passion for building a better Minneapolis is truly contagious. Under our new government structure, the role of City Council has shifted and evolved. It is my intention as president to make sure that we evolve towards a council that acts as a strong counterweight to the administration as a co-equal branch of our local government. That we unify City Council to be a successful check and balance to the mayor's administration with independent oversight and evaluation to ensure residents receive high quality, timely, and equitable city services. And to pass progressive, common sense policy and a budget that reflects our community's values. Even when our vote is divided, we remain united in our commitment to make Minneapolis a better city for everyone. You sent us to City Hall with a clear mandate to deliver a people-first agenda. We must address the housing crisis facing Minneapolis. We must create a public health response to homelessness. We must continue to expand our alternatives to policing. We must continue to the work of implementing and funding our climate equity plan and building a climate resilient city. And we must invest in our commercial corridors to revitalize every corner of our city. I'm excited to work alongside the entire City Council to get to work on these shared priorities. I'm committed to being a president who can bring this council together, prioritize Minneapolis residents over political expediency, and work with Mayor Frey on our shared promise of making Minneapolis a better city for everyone. Thank you. Colleagues, we are now ready to proceed to the new business on our agenda. I've asked the clerk to prepare a packet of the draft paperwork for each of these items, which you should have at your desks. Each of these items is numbered to correspond to the agenda to help facilitate our action on these matters. There are 6 items which are numbered in your packets, NB1 through NB6, followed by the introduction of 3 ordinances shown on the agenda. The first item is a resolution establishing lines of succession to the offices of mayor and council president as required by the city charter and our code of ordinances. The draft before you identifies both by name and position those council members who are in line and in what order to assume the office of council president and, as necessary, the office of mayor. Are there any questions from council members? Councilmember Palmisano.
Council President, I see that now, based on the following revision for the standing committees and membership, that the titles no longer match the names on that. So should we presume that this line of succession goes by way of titles of these? I think that's what you intended, but I just wanted to be sure.
That's correct. Clerk, can you make a note of that?
And Mr. President, I would say that there was a clerical error I was going to speak to on the second business item, which makes those errors on number 1. So for all of the council members, you should have a revised copy for new business number 2. And that explains more of the committee memberships which are in error on new business number 1. The clerks will correct that at your direction, Mr. Chair, after the vote.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The question on the resolution adopting the succession plan, the clerk will call the roll.
Councilmember Wansley. Aye. Councilmember Payne. I'm sorry, aye. Councilmember Rainville.
Aye.
Councilmember Vita. Aye. Councilmember Ellison.
Aye.
Councilmember Osman. Aye. Councilmember Cashman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jenkins.
Aye.
Councilmember Chavez.
Aye.
Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaudhry.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Shugtai.
Aye.
President Payne.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes.
That resolution is adopted and the lines of succession have been established as required by city charter and our municipal code. The next item of business is a resolution establishing standing committees of the City Council. This is the revised packet that Mr. Clerk, Mr. Carl was referring to. The draft packet reflects the proposal I'm offering, including the number of committees, committee leadership, and membership quorums, and the dates for regular meetings. As you can see, I'm proposing a total of 6 standing committees and 1 special committee. You can see the proposed structure retains long-standing elements of the committee structure from prior terms, but introduces a few changes I think will help us concentrate our collective attention on critical issues. The former Policy and Government Oversight Committee has become the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee, and the former Public Works and Infrastructure Committee has transitioned into the Climate and Infrastructure Committee, emphasizing a focus on the city's work on climate change, sustainability, and programs aimed at protecting and preserving our environment. This plan also establishes the Budget Committee as a regular standing committee that meets each cycle to reflect this body's primary responsibility for ensuring the fiscal health and long-term stability of city financial policies. I want to thank council members who have stepped up and agreed to lead these committees and the important work we know that the city will be tackling in the next 2 terms. Are there any questions from council members? Councilmember Jenkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'm curious, the change to the Climate and Infrastructure Committee, and will that have an impact on our ability to seek federal and state funds that could be specifically related to public works departments? And so I just want to get a response from staff or someone who may be able to speak to that issue.
We're keeping the scope of the Public Works Department within the scope of that committee. That's correct.
So in many cases, there are specific resources that are designated for public works departments. And so I'm just wanting to be real clear that the language that we are using will allow us to be able to access or at least apply for those resources.
I'll note that we will be following up with a resolution that includes the descriptors of these committees, which will also include Public Works as part of the definition of that committee.
Mr. President, perhaps I can add a little bit more to Councilmember Jenkins' inquiry. The naming of the committees does not change the fact that the Public Works Department will have a relationship in terms of the oversight function of this committee and would have no impact on the ability of the city for and on behalf of its Public Works Department to apply for or to receive grant funding.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And then my second inquiry is related to the Sustainability Department and how that worked. Historically, that department reported to the Public Health and Safety Department. Is that function going away then?
That body of work will report to the Climate and Infrastructure Committee, but there is an environmental justice component that will remain as part of the Public Health and Safety Committee.
So that department will have to essentially report to 2 committees?
The main shift here is to have the focus of our committees be around spheres of policy development, more so than, hierarchical department reporting. And so it will depend on what policy work will be happening, and we'll have to tap into the resources of the broader administration.
Thank you.
Any other questions? May I have a motion? Oh, okay. Well, then the question on the resolution establishing the committees, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wansley. Aye. Councilmember Rainville. Aye. Councilmember Vitaw. Aye. Councilmember Ellison. Aye. Councilmember Osman. Aye. Councilmember Cashman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jenkins. Aye. Councilmember Chavez. Aye. Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Chowdhury.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Chugtai.
Aye.
President Payne.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes.
The next item is adoption of the 2024-2025 calendar of regular meetings of the City Council and its committees, which satisfies the statutory requirement for notice of such meetings throughout our 2-year term. This action also includes a direction to the clerk to publish and post that adopted calendar and to update it as necessary to reflect the needs of the council. A copy of the draft calendar is in front of you in your packets. Are there any questions from council members? Councilmember Cashman.
I want to ask about January 18th on the calendar has both administration and enterprise oversight as well as climate and infrastructure. And if I'm on both committees, can you address the conflict there in the schedule?
Mr. President, would you like me to address that?
Please.
So the showing of the two committees on that day, you'll know that next Monday is the observation of the Dr. Martin Luther King holiday, and so we will have no public meetings that day. And traditionally, what we've done is tried to keep the committees within the same week of the cycle. And so what we've done in the past is move the committees where their dates have been moved to the morning session, 10 a.m. And so this would have the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee meeting at 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 18th, and the meeting of the Climate and Infrastructure Committee at its regular time at 1:30 the same day.
Okay, thank you so much.
Councilmember Osman.
Thank you, Council President. This question is for City Clerk and maybe you. Last year, we know what happened. One of the Islamic holidays fall under the council meeting, and there was a huge item that 3 council members that were Muslim were celebrating Eid. And we had the council meeting at that time. I'm looking at the calendar right now. On April 9 is the first Eid, and I'm sure that might not be the correct day because Islamic uses lunar calendar. So how would the city clerk go about that and to make sure that the Islamic holidays that some 4 council members will be celebrating does not fall on a day of council meeting?
Mr. President, in putting the calendar together, working very closely with Vice President Shugtai, we've put into our notes on April 1st and 2nd to check on the days 10 days before, and I know that the Vice President will hold the clerk's office accountable for that, so that as and if that holiday adjusts, we will have more than enough time within statutory requirements to reschedule and provide public notice of any changes in the council's calendar.
Vice President Chugtai.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I really appreciate that clarification. Mr. Clerk, I know this was a point of a lot of discussion as we were setting the calendar. Councilmember Osman, I'll also note the first Eid of this year begins on the evening of April 9th, and so it will be April 10th. That will be the day that we'll all want to not be at work. But we'll, as we get closer to that date, again, we'll double check and make sure that we adjust accordingly. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Wansley. Aye. Councilmember Rainville. Aye. Councilmember Vitaw. Aye. Councilmember Ellison. Aye. Councilmember Osman. Aye. Councilmember Cashman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jenkins.
Aye.
Councilmember Chavez.
Aye.
Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaudhry.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Shugtai.
Aye.
President Payne.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes.
That is adopted and our calendar is approved. The city clerk is directed to post and publish that calendar as required by law and to maintain the calendar throughout the coming 2-year term. For my colleagues in the public, I'd like to note that this first cycle of regular meetings will commence the week of January 15th following the recognized Martin Luther King Jr. holiday that Monday. Also, due to temporary relocation of City Council to the Public Service Center, the meetings of the Council and Council committees will be held in the new chamber in room 350 on the 3rd floor of that building. The Public Service Center is located at 250 South 4th Street, just across the street from the Federal Courthouse. Details about the schedule of regular meetings, including dates, times, locations, and the agendas, can be accessed from the city's legislative information management system and from the city website. Next, we have a resolution adopting the council rules of order. The current version of the rules was adopted in 2022 pursuant to City Charter Section 4.4A1, and those rules remain in effect. The city clerk will need to update some of the rules to reflect the new committee system, and that will be brought back for our formal consideration at a future meeting. Are there any questions from council members? May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wansley. Aye. Councilmember Rainville. Aye. Councilmember Vitaw.
Aye.
Councilmember Ellison. Aye. Councilmember Osman. Aye. Councilmember Cashman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jenkins. Aye. Councilmember Chavez. Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaudhry.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Chugtai.
Aye.
President Payne. There are 13 ayes.
That resolution is adopted, and the rules have been formally adopted. The city clerk is directed to update the rules to reflect organizational changes made today and to bring the amended rules back to city council for its consideration. The next item is a resolution designating council members to serve on the Audit Committee. The Audit Committee is an independent decision-making body established under the city charter that is responsible for the city's internal audit function, including the appointment and supervision of the city auditor. As provided in section 8.140B1 and C1, the city council president is responsible for appointing 2 council members to serve on the Audit Committee, one of whom is designated as the committee's chair. Pursuant to that provision of the city code, I hereby name myself as chair of the Audit Committee and Vice President Chugtai as the second council member to serve on the Audit Committee. Are there any questions from council members? No formal action is required on the president's appointments. Therefore, I will direct the clerk to receive and file those appointments and update the Audit Committee roster accordingly. The next item of business is a resolution that appoints council members to various organizations, agencies, boards, commissions, and groups as representatives of the city of Minneapolis. Colleagues, I will be postponing this item to our first regular meeting. I've consulted with the city clerk and want to review the number of agencies to which appointments are made to be sure we have a comprehensive list. We will be reaching out to all members to verify these appointments and anticipate bringing forward this action at the regular meeting scheduled for January 25th. Are there any questions? I appreciate your understanding, colleagues. I also note that I have directed the city clerk to prepare and to have the revision to our rules ready in time for formal action at our next meeting, as well as consideration of expired ordinances and other actions from the prior term. So we will be considering these external assignments as well as formal rules revisions to reflect our new structure and those proposals from the prior term that would otherwise expire. With that, we will proceed to the next item of business. Finally, we have a series of ordinance introductions to be referred to the proper committees. These are routine actions included in every organizational meeting as a means of expediting the noticing and referral of such matters during the coming 2-year term. The introduction essentially opens these chapters to routine recurring actions. In your packet are 3 motions that accomplish these referrals. These 3 referrals include the introduction and referral of amendments to Title II, Chapter 20, related to wages, salaries, and to the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee, the introduction and referral of amendments to Title 18, Chapter 478, related to traffic control, to the Climate and Infrastructure Committee, the introduction and referral of amendments of Title 20, Chapter 530, related to zoning code texts, to the Business Inspection, Housing, and Zoning Committee. Colleagues, I would like to take 1 vote for all 3 referrals. Therefore, I will first ask if there are any questions on any of these referrals. And may I have a motion?
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wansley. Aye. Councilmember Rainville. Aye. Councilmember Vitaw. Aye. Councilmember Ellison. Aye. Councilmember Osman. Aye. Councilmember Cashman. Aye. Councilmember Jenkins. Aye. Councilmember Chavez. Aye. Councilmember Koski.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaudhry.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
Aye.
Vice President Chugtai.
Aye.
President Payne.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes.
The motion carries, and all 3 of those subject matter introductions have been moved and referred to the committees as indicated. Colleagues will now take up the resolution added by amendment to the agenda. This is a resolution supporting a ceasefire. I'll recognize Councilmember Chaudhry.
Mr. President, I move that this resolution be referred to the Committee of the Whole to be considered at its regular meeting scheduled for January 23rd, following the standard legislative process. Councilmember Chugtai and I, along with many other council members, wanted to ensure good governance and transparency in this process in conversation and consultation with constituents, our mayor, council members, and the coalition that was a part of the proposal of this resolution. I want to thank my colleagues who have worked on this resolution to help make our expression of support for ceasefire as strong as it can be. I also want to thank the mayor for his input and to the community organizations and our many constituents. This is a complicated issue, but that doesn't mean we should avoid it. Instead, I am glad for the opportunity to come together to address this difficult and complex and very nuanced issue. At root, I think we can all agree that the atrocities of this must be rejected. Our shared values put an emphasis on human life, and that is what this resolution is about at its core. Our standard legislative process will ensure that we get full input on this resolution through the committee process. We know that our committees do the bulk of the legislative work, and that's why I support referring this to committee. That will give us another week to discuss this proposal with each other and with our constituents. I think additional time will only help strengthen our collective resolve. Following our standard process means that we have another week to collaborate before its final version due to the clerk's office. The agenda packet for the Committee of the Whole will be posted for public access in LIMS, which is the Legislative Information Management Service, 2 business days prior to the meeting. So the packet will be available to the public by January 19th. That means our constituents will then have a full weekend to review the revised draft of this resolution, and we will take their feedback before Committee of the Whole and consider the draft. Amendments can be made at the committee level before the final consideration and action by the full council at its first regular meeting on January 25th. I again want to state that this request came at the behest of many constituents throughout our city to uplift humanity in the face of a humanitarian crisis and advocate to our federal leaders. We know that this issue, again, is not an easy one, and we thank you all for standing here and in this difficulty. My hope is that we work in good faith with our mayor, fellow council members, and community to deliver language that can speak to this call, and this call for peace and uplift humanity, self-determination and sovereignty of Palestinians and Israelis and all those impacted here at home, and unequivocally stand against acts of racially motivated hate crimes, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and find proactive ways to address these issues here at home and ensure the safety for everyone, especially our Jewish and Muslim constituency. One last time, I want to thank everyone for their meaningful dialogue that we've had. This resolution is important to our local community and communities around the world. While I appreciate that foreign policy is not the responsibility of this body, I believe it is our responsibility to express the collective values of our constituents and of this community, and this resolution is an important part of our work to reflect those shared values of our community. Thank you.
It has been moved to refer this resolution to the Committee of the Whole at its first meeting, which is scheduled for January 23rd. Is there any further discussion?
Second the motion.
Councilmember Wansley.
Oh, there we go. So I just wanted to provide a couple of comments, especially since I've spoken consistently for the past several months about bringing a resolution forward to be voted on by City Council with the intent of Minneapolis joining the global movement and standing against the genocide taking place in Palestine. And I think it's important to name that because for decades, we've seen Palestine be placed under occupation and be forced to live under apartheid conditions. And as others have shared, we are not voting on a resolution today. And I want to highlight that piece because that is something that I committed to publicly that we would be voting on today. But I also want to highlight for you all, if you look at the draft, my name is not on it. And I want to provide some context for why that is so. But first, I want to pause and acknowledge the hundreds of hours that working class people like you all have poured into even getting us into this point right now, where we even get to consider a ceasefire resolution. I will name after, on October 11th, my office put out a statement. And in response to that, I received so much input from our residents around how they were processing the immense traumas that's been activated in our communities since October 7th happened. And many of these residents have spent the past 3 months working with my office, not only on a resolution, but have organized marches, have organized rallies and phone banks to legislators. You all have shown up for this moment. And I want to name, you've done this in spite, well, not in spite, but you've done this hard work of caring for one another in spite of this crushing grief that I think we're collectively experiencing. So I think it's also important to recognize in this moment and acknowledge the courage it takes to stand up for Palestinian human rights. Just like it takes courage to stand up for the victims of police brutality, just like it takes courage to stand up for our unhoused neighbors. And transformative and progressive change in our society would not have come about without public officials like ourselves deciding not to take the hard but morally correct stances. I can name, I probably would not be speaking before you today had not the abolitionist movement that formed in the 1800s forced people to take a stand against the inhumane system of chattel slavery. I also would not be a public servant today had there not been a civil rights movement that existed and forced millions of people, public officials included, to take public stances against a system of racial segregation. So we all know this. In all the struggles against oppression and violence, there is pressure to sanitize and weaken the language describing the realities of those who are being oppressed. There is always pressure to advance the narratives that shield the oppressor. There is pressure to not speak forcefully about the truth. There's this pressure. Honestly, it can be crushing. I want to acknowledge that. It can be terrifying, but it requires courage and moral clarity to resist this pressure. And I want to be very clear. What I see in Gaza is Israel committing a genocide. Comrades, thank you so much. Show of force. I know it's not easy to name this, and I wish it was not the truth, but the vast majority of the United Nations believe it. The vast majority of the Human Rights Organization believes it. Academic historians, doctors, journalists, and diverse residents who have reached out to my office believe this. Not calling this a genocide, not recognizing the ethnic cleansing sanitizes the horror that is being experienced by Palestinians, and it erases their humanity. Staying silent is not an option, and neither is using language that misconstrues the reality of the situation and gives cover to the violence and oppression that our relatives in Gaza are experiencing. So I want to highlight, lastly, again, you all have been reaching out to City Council for weeks to work on a resolution that names the genocide in Palestine in a way that accurately describes it, and that does not diminish the death and trauma experienced by both Israelis, Jewish, and all people. And the draft in front of us includes a lot of important context, and I want to thank the authors for their work on this. And I look forward to continuing the conversations in Cal, where I intend to bring forward amendments to make sure that we are reflecting the accuracy of this moment. And I look forward to a unanimous vote from my colleagues for a permanent and immediate ceasefire and an end to the U.S. military aid to Israel. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
I have to add, I want to give thanks because the U.S. media is responsible for this. They call them pro-Palestinian supporters. Tens of thousands of my brothers and sisters, Jews, have organized across the globe, shutting down highways. They took over the Capitol. They closed the consulate. They shut bridges. Jews, but they don't call them Jews. They only want to label them Jews when it sides with the Zionist oppressive state of Israel. Tens of thousands of Jews across the globe stood up and took a stance and said, not in our name, never again. Just like Muslims across the globe fight extremism. That's why 92% of those killed by Muslim extremists happen to be fellow Muslims. Tens of thousands of Jews across the globe and said no to Israel. So let's recognize them. Stop forgetting their names. It's Jews that are standing with us as well. This fight
Thank you.
isn't against the Jewish people. It's simply against the racist apartheid state of Israel. That's all we want.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. The spirit of Malcolm X and all of your comrades and ours are standing behind you, sister. You have more courage. You have more courage, sister, than every Arab oppressive dictator across the globe.
Thank-
I bow to you, sister. You have so much courage.
Thank you.
You have so much courage, sister. Every single one of us are with you, sister.
I'd like.
You are a queen. You are a queen, sister, and I bow to you.
Thank you. We have a few other council members who are in queue to speak. I'm asking everybody to give time. Councilmember Palmisala.
Thank you. I'd like to speak specifically to this action in front of us, which is to move this forward a couple of weeks and to hammer out language. I'd like to say that people have seen earlier versions of this. It's been changing over time, and they're fearful. People are worried this will inflame both anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I feel strongly that we need all of our energy to spend time on this issues that we can affect here in our city. That's how I'd like to start this year, is getting to work on things where we can affect change and not on things that heighten fear and alarm in our constituents. The loss of Palestinian and Israeli lives is awful and tragic. American hostages have been taken, some killed, others missing. Families have been ripped apart. And sitting here as elected officials of the city of Minneapolis, we all mourn and we are all angry. We see you who have gathered here today. We see you who have been reaching out. We see how personal this is. War is hell. We've been flooded with feedback from residents. And
Hey, please, please, please.
Mr. President,
Please. Please, everyone.
in committee of the whole, you plan to have a public hearing?
Please.
It's clear that residents share our grief, they share our anger, and they are divided in their opinions. There are ways to be here for our constituents, for the constituents in our city, without fanning flames of division. Let's not further divide our city that we represent by our actions. My concern over spending more time on this is it will fuel debate and not be a place of holding everyone together. So let's prove that concern wrong. We can have conversations, we can come together, all while not trying to get all and only the perfect words on a page. I urge us to stick to our purview. I want us to ask all of our residents how our Muslim and Jewish residents are coping with this moment. I want us to look to educate one another in ways that grow empathy. I want us to hear important stories of people's families, their backgrounds, and I don't want to have dueling press conferences. That's not growing our humanity in these moments. I was moved by the comments from our mayor last week, and I agree that peace needs to be our goal. Rather than choosing what stories we'll tell and what things we'll uplift, let's come together on a statement accordingly. Peace,
Please,
decency, and love.
let the council member finish her statements. Can we please let the council member finish her statements? Thank you all.
Peace, decency, and love need to be the priority here.
Please.
That's best done without slicing and dicing a foreign policy position in this moment.
Please let the council member finish her statement.
I suggest that we spend this time on a brief statement that recognizes humanity and complexity and draws people in to moments of brave sharing about lives with one another. I have had that experience these past couple of months. And then let's get back to focusing on matters we have the authority to address as a city. We can and should call for peace and do
Please
these
don't
things
cut off the council member.
right now. Thank you.
I'm gonna ask the audience to allow the council members to speak. I'm gonna ask the audience to allow the council members to speak. Councilmember Chowdhury.
Thank you all for being in this room. Obviously, tensions are high, and I think everyone has their reasons for that. I just want to give us a moment for us to finish through this process. We will be taking up on a vote on referring this to committee. We'll get through that process. There is a lot of space for you to reach out to us as council members by phone call and email. And me as a council member, I know I have hundreds of emails in my inbox at this point, a lot from my constituents, and I plan on responding back to them. Let us get through these proceedings. I promise you, we will take the time for us to have a conversation together and figure this out in a way that lifts up humanity. I know that there is a lot of pain in this room, and I know my words can only go so far. So I appreciate your understanding, and I look forward to supporting a ceasefire resolution when it comes forward on January 25th. Thank you.
Councilmember Ellison. Councilmember Osman.
Tha-
We can't wait for a ceasefire. We need it now. How many more have to die?
tha-
2,000
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council President. I would like to call the question and keep it moving.
All right. The question has been called. Is there any objection? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wansley. Councilmember Rainville. Councilmember Vita. Councilmember Ellison. Councilmember Osman. Councilmember Cashman. Councilmember Jenkins. Councilmember Chavez. Councilmember Koski. Councilmember Chowdhury.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
No.
Vice President Chugtai. President Payne.
Aye.
There are 12 ayes and 1 nay.
The question on the referral to committee has been called, and that carries, and the resolution is referred. Oh, wow. It's fine. There's no objection to calling the question, so. Okay, let's call the roll on the referral.
On the referral, Councilmember Wansley. Councilmember Rainville. Councilmember Vita. Councilmember Ellison. Councilmember Osman. Councilmember Cashman.
Aye.
Councilmember Jenkins. Councilmember Chavez. Councilmember Koski. Councilmember Chowdhury.
Aye.
Councilmember Palmisano.
No.
Vice President Chugtai.
Aye.
President Payne.
Aye.
I have 10 ayes, 2 nays, and 1 abstention.
That motion carries, and the item has been referred to Committee of the Whole. Colleagues, that completes all items on the agenda today. I want to repeat my thanks to all of you and reiterate that I'm excited to get started on the work that we will accomplish together. I'm both honored and humbled to serve this body in this leadership capacity. I want to thank the mayor for his address and for his partnerships in our new term. We look forward to collaborating with you, Mr. Mayor, and with your administration. Finally, I'd like to offer thanks of the entire council to our city clerk and his team for this assistance in planning and preparing for this term, including our swearing in, this organizational meeting, and more. The final item on the agenda is announcements. Are there any announcements? Not seeing any. With that, we have completed all business today. Without objection, I will declare this meeting adjourned.
Free Palestine!